you're going to need a 5mm hook or a size H hook, at least 2 skeins of yarn, and this is worst weight yarn. It comes in about 230 yards, so you're going to need at least 2 of these if you want to make a decent long scarf, and a pair of scissors, and that's it. Okay, to begin, you want to chain 21, and if you want to make it longer, the formula for the scarf is 4 stitches plus 1. So you need to stay in sets of 4, and when you've got the length that you desire, then just chain 1 and then start. So I've got 21, and I'm going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook. And then I'm going to single crochet in each stitch down my chain for a total of 20 single crochets. And once you have your 20 single crochets done, you want to chain 2 and turn. Now it'll be the same way for every beginning and end of a row. You want to double crochet in the first stitch. So I'm going to put a double crochet in the first stitch, and it will always be like that. Chain 1, double crochet, and then you want to start your cluster. And how you do that is you will want to do 2 incomplete double crochets in each stitch. So in this stitch, what you're going to do is yarn over, go into that stitch like you're going to do a double crochet, pull up a loop, but you want to yarn over and pull through only 2 of the loops. Then you want to yarn over, go back in through that same stitch, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. You want to do this for each stitch for the next 2 stitches. So you've done 1, so now you want to do the next one. Yarn over, going through the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and only pull through 2 loops. Now you've got 1 incomplete here. You want to do another one. Yarn over, going through that same stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops. Now you have 2 incomplete here and 2 incomplete here. You want to yarn over and pull through all 5 loops. So you're always going to have 5 loops to go through. You'll have 2 incompletes, 2 incompletes, and then once you do, you'll pull through all the loops and chain 1. And let me show you one more time. You want to yarn over, going through the next stitch, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then you want to yarn over, going through that same stitch, pull up a loop. Then yarn over and pull through only 2 loops, 3 loops on the hook. Then you want to work the same thing in the next stitch as well. So you'll yarn over, go into the very next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through only 2 loops. Then repeat that, yarn over, going through that same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Now you have 5 loops on your hook, and you see you have 2 incomplete double crochets here and 2 incomplete double crochets here. Now you're ready to yarn over and pull through all 5 loops. If it lets me, there we go. Then chain 1. You always want to chain 1 after every cluster, and you want to continue this throughout the rest of the round. At the very last stitch, you'll want to do a double crochet. But continue on doing your clusters. Remember, you're using 2 stitches for each cluster, and I'll see you back here at the end of the round. Okay, when you've made it to the end of your round, you'll want to do a double crochet in this very last stitch. And then, as always, you want to chain 2. My yarn won't quit fighting with me. You want to chain 2 and then turn. And you'll do this at the end of every round. Now your rounds will be the same from here on out. You'll always chain 2 and turn and put a double crochet into that first stitch. And then you'll be working your clusters now as follows. the top of your clusters leaves this little stitch. It's kind of hard to get into, but you can see it here. And then there'll be a long stitch right next to it here. So these are the 2 stitches that you'll be using to make your cluster stitch. The small one above your cluster here, and then the big one to the side of it. So you'll be doing exactly what you did last time, yarning over, going through that first stitch and pulling up a loop. Yarn over, pull through only 2 loops. Then again into that same stitch, you'll be doing an incomplete double crochet. So now you have 2 incomplete double crochets in this first stitch. Now you want to repeat that for this long stitch here on the side, putting 2 incomplete double crochets there, giving you 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 5 loops, then chain 1, and then you'll repeat it for the next stitch as well. Yarn over, pulling up a loop and only pulling through 2, leaving 2 incomplete. And again, you'll work it in this larger stitch beside. Just like that, see? So on the top of your cluster here, and then you have the larger stitch here. And you have 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 5 loops, and then chain 1. So you're going to want to repeat this for the entire row, and when you get to the end, I'll show you a trick to make sure that you always double crochet in the correct stitch. Okay, I just got done with my last cluster of the round, and now in this very last stitch here I need to do a double crochet. Now every time you get done with the row, you always chain 2, and you can see on this one there's a chain 2 on the side, and it's kind of hard to see, but it's here on the side here. Now this here is the stitch on the top of my double crochet. So you want to make sure that you always go in through this stitch on the very top of your double crochet and not down the chain, not down one of the chain 2s on the side. Always use this top, the stitch on the top of the double crochet. So you want to go right into that stitch on top of the double crochet and do a double crochet, and then you'll always chain 2 and turn. See, and here this is going to be the next row. This is your chain 2, but you will want to put your double crochet here in the stitch that's on top of the double crochet. So you'll turn, go into that stitch on top of the double crochet, and then you'll yarn over and start going into that first stitch on top of the cluster to start your next cluster. Just like that, and you'll continue row after row the same way. And like I said, it should take at least 2 skeins of yarn to be able to finish a decent size scarf. And if you think that this is too wide and you want to reduce it some, then like I said, you can just count to 4 with your stitches, you know, 4 by 4 by 4 by 4, and then when it gets to the length that you want, then just chain 1, and then you can start. So this has been the tutorial to show you how to make the cluster stitch scarf. I hope that it was easy to follow and that you're enjoying my new HD, and I hope that I stayed in frame as best as I could. I hope that the videos will improve as I get used to my new setup, but I thank you so much for staying with me before I did not have HD. So thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to click like, and please don't forget to share this video.